The video for February the 25th, 2017 is entitled, "Wow, did Google block my Gmail?" This morning has been challenging, to say the least. Apparently, Google has blocked my email account, making it impossible to sign in. It says my password was changed, but I did not change it. Is the fake corporate government now waging a war against information that challenges their control? I'm not even sure I can make my own videos anymore, since they all go to Google first, even before Facebook. When will the real creator stop this insanity? Yes, I keep asking that. If God is also fake, I hope I die soon, even though I am doing my best to make the most of my life. This includes organizing my things that were in storage for over a year after the bank and complicit court, with the help of falsely so-called law enforcement, stole my non-mortgaged home. As I see it, they are waging war against truth. Indeed, I was shocked as I got up this morning and came to my computer, and I had left some emails in my Yahoo account that I didn't read, and I went to them, but I noticed a warning thing, an alert on my Gmail account, and I tried to go into it, and it doesn't allow me into my own account. As of yesterday, I was still receiving messages on it, but none of the messages today, and I always get an Intel message early in the morning around 5 a.m. Eastern time, my time. And of course, it didn't come today, and now I've signed up for it on a different email account, but I'm having a feeling none of my email accounts are going to end up working because it's all part of the system, and the system is broken. And people are waking up to the fact that criminals have been running the insane asylum we call Earth, and they don't like the fact that people are waking up and attempting to take our power back. There's so many things going on that interfere with the game plan of the establishment to make slaves out of the entire human race. They do it through genetic engineering. They do it through putting shots in our bodies and manipulating information to the best of their ability. They set up this internet thing as a way of spying on people, to know what people are thinking. Well, people began to use it to their own advantage, instead of to the advantage of those that created it. And so now those that created it are running scared because too many people are waking up. And the only way that the majority of people are getting their news is through mainstream media, if they're getting any news at all. And I'm talking about the Western world, of course, which uses the television. That's the primary means of mind control. They try to do it with the internet, but the internet, as long as it was free, allowed counterintelligence or counter operation to warn people of what was really going on. And they've blocked Alex Jones. They've blocked, what was the other one? The one that puts all the health news, the Health Ranger. And they're trying to stop everything that will restore sanity to the world, because the people that have been running everything are insane. They are megalomaniacs. They are criminals of the highest degree without any level of morality. I mean, there is no, I mean, it's totally immoral. Look at the Pizzagate scandal. That's not fake news, folks. The fake news is that which tries to debunk the real news. The real news is not what you get in New York Times and Washington Post and on ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN. That's not the real news. That's the fake news. The real news is what you get on the things that they're trying to shut down. Now, I don't care for Alex Jones's loudness. I mean, he screams at you, and that does not feel good for me to have somebody screaming at me. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just, I mean, even preachers that preach as if they're yelling at you are a turnoff for me, and always have been. I mean, I like to try to have a voice of reason, and I like to speak in a modulated voice that is relatively easy to listen to, and I like to try to be sensible and realistic. But I'm telling you, if they're cutting off communication now, that is a major act of war against humanity, because they don't want humanity to wake up. These people that are the money changers and the controllers of our society, and most of it, I'm sorry, but most of it is the fake Jews. And I'm not talking about real Jews that came up through through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob lineage. I'm not talking about those Jews. I'm talking about the Jews that were from Khazaria and became Jews as converts. And the majority of Jews on the planet are Khazarians. They're not Israeli Jews. They have no connection to the so-called promised land. None. And there's a lot of Jews that have woken up to this reality. And there's a lot of Jews that are trying to wake other Jews up, as well as the general population. But the establishment, which is primarily run by fake Jews, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of the people in even the Catholic Church are not fake Jews of some sort, or they're certainly part of the cabal. They're certainly part of a illicit, demonic element that has tried to take control and use humanity as its own fodder in the wars, and use humanity for its own benefit, and it's to do as servants. They want a servant class, a servile class that does what they're told and doesn't question anything and doesn't think outside the box. That's the kind of humanity that they'd like to see activated here on Earth. And that's what they've been trying to create. And that's why they do things like blocking Gmail accounts or anything that's trying to expose the reality of our situation. They don't want that, because then their game plan is over. Once people know the truth, we will be liberated. But we've been kept so long in a mental prison, not an actual prison, although some are in an actual prison. We've been kept in a mental prison where we're not allowed to know the truth about ourselves. And that's the most important truth of all to know. Who am I? What am I? Why am I here? What's the purpose of my life? These are questions that they don't want us to even consider, because if we start asking these very important, very serious questions, we will come to a different conclusion than the one they have programmed us to accept as our reality. And it's time for change, folks. I mean, please, will you please wake up? We've got to take a stand. There's only a few of them compared to the many of us. If we would only learn to cooperate and stand with each other, we could easily overcome the evil influence. We've got to stop fighting each other, and we've got to learn to love one another, because it's going to be love and truth ultimately that set us free. Thank you for listening, and namaste.